But yeah, man, we've sort of known each other on and off, dur se, for like more than 10 years, I think, because I remember my last, perhaps my first real conversation with you was when you were telling me कि bro मैं Messiah छोड़ रहा हूँ and you seem to be the only other bassist I know, तो तुम join कर लो. And I was like, bro मैं
I
पाकिस्तान
don't
छोड़
think
रहा
it
हूँ.
was वो Messiah नहीं था. I think it was 7 on third time. Messiah
Seven
का
on
गाना
third,
कुछ था.
sorry,
Yeah,
yes, yeah. And I was
yeah,
like अच्छा मैं तो पाकिस्तान छोड़ रहा हूँ. So this was like 2010, late 2010.
yeah,
um
possibly.
yeah, so it's been a while. How long, let's start फिर ना. You're a
हाँ,
music person and
सही.
you've been a music person for a while. How did you first become a music person? That typical sawal.
How did I first become? I mean, I think it's like I was probably about 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
Um, and I'd be going to church, and we had a bunch of friends. And at that time, my friend circle, like everyone started picking up guitars and drums and stuff like that. So it was just like one of those like peer kind of things where I was like, okay, I also want to get into music,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So I wanted to get into guitar and stuff like that. But like, the one void that kind of needed to be filled was bass,
Mm-hmm.
at least between the friends circle and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I did initially like my first guitar my uncle bought me when I was like 12.
Okay.
तो उस पे मैंने like शुरू किया था थोड़ा बहुत. And like I had like this book on Spanish guitar जिससे मैं पढ़ के like used to like do chord formations and stuff like that.
So this is like the late 90s, I'm assuming.
So this is, yeah, so I was born in 86, so this is like 98, 99
Yeah.
की बात
तो
हो रही
उस जमाने
है. Yeah.
में I mean your church scene तो चलो, that's a very consistent and established situation in the community. Did you have any
Hmm.
other musical like awareness? It was just like a hangout kind of situation कि सब कर रहे हैं मैं भी कर
No, no,
लेता हूँ.
I had definitely had musical awareness because my eldest sister had great taste in music,
Okay.
and the first time I heard Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and stuff like that was through her.
Okay.
And I think मेरे लिए turning point ये था कि मैंने जब Spoonman की video देख ली थी तो I was like ये क्या scene है
Yeah,
यार,
yeah, yeah.
like what is this music, I really like this. Is like like just there's like almost like a bulb went off in my head and I was like this is like
But
something
how
like
were
I
you? Because this is I moved to Pakistan from Dubai in like 2001 ish, 2001.
yeah.
Oh, and ज़ाहिर है उससे पहले तो इंटरनेट भी नहीं था. तो how was your sister getting it? कराची का म्यूजिक सीन क्या था? Because like उस वक्त तो चैनल्स भी नहीं थे.
हाँ तो I mean channels in the sense के like uh, satellite TV आ गया था लेकिन you
Okay.
just had MTV
Right.
लेकिन
Right.
MTV also wasn't really playing stuff like Soundgarden or Pearl Jam or Tool or Radiohead unless you were watching it on Headbangers Ball Rock,
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know. But for the most part, here's the most interesting part about like at least Pakistani music culture back then. In the early 90s, what I remember was like 94, 95 ke zamane mein. We used to rent video, like, we used to rent
Sure. Sure.
movies kind of thing, right? So, हमें VHS tapes मिलती थी. This were just recordings of MTV from abroad,
अच्छा. अच्छा.
right? So that basically was what our input into the Western music hemisphere was. Like, we'd get these VHS tapes, which would have these music videos, which were recordings of MTV. They're
हाँ.
essentially bootlegs,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
अच्छा मतलब they
So,
weren't like official कोई MTV's releasing
हाँ.
tapes.
So we'd literally like rent those tapes, or that's how we used to get watch music videos. And a lot of like stores in Karachi, like उस time पे एक होता था, it was a jali place but called Virgin Music के नाम से.
Right. Right.
And उधर tapes मिलती थी, and you could literally go there and submit a list of music that you want on a tape, वो आपके लिए
Right.
mixtape बना.
Yeah.
And then Offbeat started doing that as well. Then much later, La Rave came around, and then the CD culture came around, so it became much easier. But before the time of like MP3s or anything like that, though, it used to be like you'd give like this list of music that you want on a tape, like a mixtape, and about maybe a week or 2 weeks later, the guy would be like, "Okay, your tape's ready, come pick it up." And then when you'd go there, he's like, "Acha, ye wala gaana nahi mila, ye wala gaana nahi mila, lekin ye baaki sare mil gaye the."
Right.
So I'm sure that they had their own kind of like archival system back then.
हाँ. नहीं
Very
मतलब वो है
interesting.
ना कि इतना इतना there was such demand for this specific situation कि there was
Yeah,
a supply network also for
yeah.
it.